2023 for me will always be remembered as the year that JJK's fandom went absolutely insane. From snitching on those Twitter spoilers all the way to headache and heartbreak, depending on whether you read the manga or watched the anime. But one thing I think we can all 100% agree on was that JJK had an absolutely crazy good year. With that being said, today we are going to recap the series in a very special way by analyzing the strength of each of the characters up to this point in the show and try to find some takeaways overall in their journeys. Happy New Year, TVV community. Welcome back if you are new. I am the Blurred Bae, aka Miss Jordy. I'm very excited about this piece of content, and if you are too, consider subscribing so you don't miss a moment of anything related to anime, shorts, or just overall good times. I also post on TikTok very real-time reactions. So if you're coming from TikTok to watch this full video, hey, what's up? Hello. I hope you're excited and make sure you subscribe too. So with all of that out the way, let's get into this tier list. Starting with exactly what the categories mean. Too strong for their own good. Obviously, I think that one goes without explaining, but I did not want to make a GOAT tier, God tier status because I don't feel like we're deep enough into the show yet to do that. And then also, I just want to preface this as well by saying this is strictly based on anime. This is not based on the manga. I do not read the manga. Did what needed to be done simply means they were better than average. You needed to do something and you did it and you made it happen. Good job, you know? Good effort. You put in the work, but it wasn't necessarily great, but it was just good. You're not bad, but you're not terrible. And please just sit down because I know I'm going to get some flack for this one. Does not mean the character was weak. Does not mean I think any characters are necessarily weak. It's just that at this point in the show, they did not necessarily show up the way that we would hope for them to show up. So, or I would hope for them to show up. If the character really didn't put up a fight or really have any significant moments of action in this season, I decided that they would just simply be featured in not featured. And another thing too, you guys, I'm gonna put the characters in no significant order. I'm not putting them ahead of anybody. Just everybody in that category is sort of what that category is. I'm not gonna go that in depth because that would just be a little too much, okay? All right, so our very first character on this list is Ghetto. Suguru Ghetto, he's in a class of his own. Ghetto's character development, even though we didn't get to see that much of him, he was suffering very deeply in silence in one of the final scenes in Hidden Inventory where he was talking to the blonde-haired lady whose name is escaping me, kind of trying to decide these two different paths that he wanted to take in order to kind of rid the world of cursed energy, essentially. Even in the shower scenes, oftentimes we saw him in deep thought, looking like he's exhausted, he's tired, he's consumed. Definitely one of the strongest characters, even in his deceased state on the show. Ghetto gets the very first spot of too strong for his own good. This next man, as you can see on this tier list, really does not need an introduction, but of course we have to give him one. The legend himself, Toji Fushiguro. So many people hyped him up as I was watching the Hidden Inventory arc, and honestly, deservedly so. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and place him where I think he needs to be. Too strong for his own good, obviously. In my opinion with Toji, yes, I don't fully understand the dynamic between him and Megumi, other than the fact that he didn't want him to go off into the Zenin clan simply because they would have used him. I really had a change of heart when Toji fought Megumi in the Shibuya incident. When he finally asked, because he saw that Megumi actually got a hit on him, that moment when Megumi answers sort of triggers this transformation back into his humanity almost. And he takes himself out because he is a proud father. The whole show, I kind of feel like Toji was not this proud dad. He sold off his kid. He didn't really feel proud of Megumi, in my opinion. And in a way, he kind of felt like he no longer had to protect him, is what I was thinking. That awareness that Toji had was so special. And obviously he could have kept that body. He could have still been running around. He could have still been doing his thing. There was no longer a purpose for him to be in the world because Megumi had grown so much. And since his passing, he felt the growth just simply in that moment, which shows how strong he was. Even though that fight was so short, because it also happened during the same time when Sukuna was going off on Jogo. Such a powerful little short snippet, such a great moment, which is why, in my opinion, Toji truly deserves a spot of Too Strong for His Own Good. Not just about how he fights, but it's about his senses. It's about his presence. It's about what he knows. And that, to me, is what separates the best characters on this show from just average characters at best. All right, my girl, Mei Mei, up next on the list. Okay, so Mei Mei, in my opinion, is a question mark here. She sort of gave us this energy that, yes, I'm going with Yuji. I'm making sure everything is good. I also think it's interesting that she got placed with Yuji, because if it was another instructor that was working with her or him, they would have fought overall up until the end together, I think. She sees Ghetto in the hallway, and the next time we see her, she's in a hotel room. So Mei Mei is definitely a question mark for me. I did think that she gave us a good effort. It was close. She almost lost Uiui. But I don't think, based on some of the other characters and what I'm going to place them, I don't think I can give her a did what needed to be done. I'll put both of them in good effort. She did enough, but it wasn't like, oh my gosh. Aoi Todo. Y'all, first of all, can we discuss Todo's entrance? He's so cool. My brother, he's ready to fight on sight. And I'm so proud of what Akutami did with his character, because even in the end, after he lost the ability to do his clap, it was like he still never gave up heart, and he distracted Mahito for just enough moment for that, so that Yuji could actually deal a significant blow to him. Definitely is going to get the first spot of did what needed to be done. Next up, oh, this one hurts my heart. This one genuinely hurts my heart, and having to analyze him and put him where I believe I'm gonna have to put him is just very unfortunate, because I truly don't believe we ever really got in the anime, we ever really got to fully see the power of Nanami. I think we did see his best in season 1, and that hurts me a lot because I really, really was rooting for this character. Nanami was such a great character for this show because he kind of brought this sense of level-headedness. In this season, we didn't get to see his best. It hurts my heart. So because I can't put Nanami and Please Sit Down because he means so much to the series, Nanami is also going to go into the category of just a good effort. And this might be unpopular. This might be unpopular. Mechamaru did all of his classmates a favor. In my opinion, that scene that Mechamaru had with the rest of his classmates, where he's really talking mostly to Miwa, they said that, wow, you thought we were that weak. And he agreed that he believed that it was his own weakness that held him up from allowing them to be put in that situation. That weakness was not because he was necessarily a weak fighter. However, he just ran up against the two strongest people on the opposition side. But in my opinion, that weakness stemmed simply from his love and his affection for his classmates. He assessed the situation and knew what was coming, and so he did them a favor. We even saw what they attempted to do. It was nothing. I genuinely don't believe that any of the Kyoto High students would have made a significant impact even if they fought as a group against any of the curses. The attitudes toward Mechamaru was just completely unwarranted. It didn't make sense, in my opinion, and quite frankly, you need to sit down. You need to be realistic about your powers. In all honesty, I'm gonna put all of them in Please Sit Down. When Momo's attack from her fan got blown off by Urame with one hand, I was like, it's over. It's over. It's over. Why did you even... So yeah, I will rate Mechamaru, however. This is a tough one because Mechamaru lost in the end, right? In my opinion, if it wasn't for Mechamaru, all of the sorcerers really would not have had a chance. They would not have stood a chance at all. Mechamaru took measures to try to help everyone as much as he could, even though he still acted as a mole. But in my humble opinion, Mechamaru did what needed to be done. Because sometimes strategy in the battlefield is equally as important as strength. So for that reason, unpopular opinion, we're gonna go ahead and put Mechamaru for season 2. Rest in peace, Mechamaru. It did what needed to be done. All right, Maki. Oh, Maki. Oh, I hate to do this to her. Because she didn't do nothing in that fight with Daigon. She almost did a little 1-2 with them nunchucks. When Nanami told her to get out of there, she probably should have got out of there. And because I still want to give her a chance to grow as a character in the future, I am going to go ahead and place Maki under please sit down. I feel so bad. Next up, really a man that doesn't need an introduction. Gojo, Satoru. The little bit of Gojo that we did see and the way he was able to execute his domain expansion to not take out every single human that was in the train was a sheer masterpiece. And shout out to Mappa and the animators of JJK. Even in the hidden inventory arc, he put a gaping hole in Toji. Do not forget, what a crazy moment. Gojo really doesn't need a long drawn out explanation. He's quite frankly the strongest character on the board. Too strong for his own good is directly where Gojo needs to be placed. Megumi is an interesting character here. Without him knowing, he directly fought Sukuna. Megumi being the one to be able to train Maharaga is such a powerful moment because that separates him from everyone else who's ever been able to use the 10 Shadows technique. Simply for that reason. Even with that explanation, I don't know where to place him. Obviously, I'm not putting him under too strong for his own good. I think that also puts Megumi under the did what needed to be done category. Now, this is another one that kind of hurts my soul. Nobara, to me, is one of the stronger female protagonists in anime because she went from being like this small town girl, just loving her life, into a character that is holding her own for the most part against cursed spirits. And even though she fell to that patch face character whose scaling is absurd, she just really evolved and developed to me. If she doesn't land that blow and just keep fighting, that fight for Todo and Yuji goes completely different. That's the impact that Nobara had, even as I'm saying this and I'm hoping she's still alive. She is in recovery right now. And because of that, I do believe that lands her in the did what needed to be done category. Some people might label it just as a good effort, but in my opinion, that changes the entire tide. You did what needed to be done. And so Panda to me was also one of the characters that really was not featured. I'm actually gonna move Kamo back down too because I don't remember Kamo doing anything. Who is this fake Ghetto really? And why is he so strong? And it's like he's 10 steps ahead of everybody. It's almost like he foresaw all of this. Obviously for that reason and because of the reason that he has unleashed absolute chaos and havoc on Tokyo with idol transfiguration and absorbing Mahito. He's getting placed in too strong for his own good. Okay, next up is an interesting character for me, Inumaki, and I'll also rate Yuta at the same time before I get to Yuji. Inumaki, he lost his arm or arms in the Shibuya incident. However, all we do know is that Yuta is pissed. Even though Inumaki did pretty good with his cursed speech on that one small scene we got to see, I think I'm still gonna label Inumaki among the please sit down for this moment. He saw some scale, you know? But we will put Yuta in good effort. Yuta gave us a good effort mostly because he saved that girl at the end. Overall, I'm not too certain about those two. I'm curious about it. I think that the show definitely left us with a lot to think about when it comes to those two. Ino, in my opinion, was extremely lackluster. I didn't get the sense that he was going to be able to take anyone out. And also, I didn't feel like his character in any way sort of made a huge difference in season 2. I have no doubt that Ino is going to grow if he's still alive, which I believe he is. But man, I was disappointed. He probably could fight someone else, but we'll put him among the please sit down group, because please sit down is room to grow. Maybe I should ask, maybe I should put please sit down / room to go, just so I don't feel so bad. Mr. Zenon himself, y'all, Naobito. I'm not gonna lie, he was kind of cold. And if he wasn't there in that Dagon fight, they would have lost, man. But overall, if I'm just assessing his character, it was very critical for the show that he was there. And so I'm gonna put him under did what needed to be done. I honestly don't even remember this person's name, so we're just gonna skip her. Now, Yuji, oh my gosh. Yuji is the last sorcerer before we get to the curses, which I'm so excited to talk about the curses. Yuji kind of let me down this arc, y'all. Even though he did put one good blow into Mahito, the biggest thing for me with Yuji is I totally understand him getting beaten by Choso. Choso not only was fighting with passion, but he was also fighting for vengeance. There was not really a chance that he could have beat Choso, even though Yuji is still like the main character of JJK. He's got a lot of work to do. I'm not even sure he's capable of doing it. But he put up a good fight against Choso. I thought it was very interesting. I thought the Mahito fight was, thank God Todo was there. He's seen a lot of sadness. He's seen a lot of depression. And a lot of those memories, I'm sure, are very etched into his mind. And so I'm not sure about Yuji right now. He's definitely not my favorite character of JJK. I'll tell y'all that much. How do y'all feel about him? Let me know in the comments. I'm gonna just simply give Yuji a good effort. Yuji would have did what he needed to be done if he finished Mahito. I know that might have been the end of the show, but listen, you don't play with your food. You don't play with your food. When Mahito was crawling around, you should have finished him. You should have destroyed him. It was a good effort. Another reason why too, and it's crazy because I have Nobara above Yuji right now, which some people might disagree with. Todo and Nobara were a big key part of the reason why Yuji was able to do what he could do with Mahito. And I understand that Yuji was also coming off of Sukuna. He was pretty worn down. His body was worn out. In my humble opinion, Yuji gets put in the good effort category. I'm not fully impressed with him at all. I'm not impressed. We're still only doing Black Flash after 2 whole seasons. There has to be more. He's landing them at a more consistent rate yet. That's my take on Yuji. I understand people might be averse to it, but it is what it is. Okay? Thank you. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Admittedly, I had to go Google this man's name because I could not remember it for some reason. But Haruta, Blondie, most annoying character by far this season. And he just preys on the weak. That's his whole character. That's his whole character development. He didn't gain any skills. He didn't do any cool abilities. He just stabbed people in the back, literally. So in my humble opinion, this character doesn't have much to discuss. So Haruta, just simply go, please just go sit down. Next up, the curses. And let's start off with Choso. It has been confirmed now that he is connected to Yuji. And so that means part of Yuji is also a curse. His blood art technique, really powerful. However, overall, Choso definitely gave Yuji the business. Him choosing to try to go all out and really die for his brother Yuji is top tier loyalty, okay? Choso and this top tier loyalty, I'm here for it. I'm here for every little second of it. And if you're going to be this loyal to the end, we all need someone like Choso in our lives, 100%. With that being said, I am gonna give Choso what did what needed to be done. Actually, no. I can't put Choso that high. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't put Choso that high. I take that back. Choso is getting a good effort because he didn't actually finish off Yuji, or maybe he did technically. Choso is strong, and I think that Choso is going to be a really impactful character in future arcs. He's kind of showed that he's not on the side of sorcerers, but he's also not on the side of curses. So where does that sort of put him? And I also think, now that I'm talking it out, that also expands where Yuji might be. Is Yuji gonna realize he's part cursed? We don't know too much about his mother, but is something going on with his mother? Definitely a curious character that I think I can't wait to see more of for sure. This next character on this list, y'all, definitely was one that I think grew in my favorability terms overall from season 1 JJK0 to season 2. Jogo. Jogo, so fun to watch. The way he kind of started out as this like butt of the joke against Gojo to literally fighting Sukuna. I feel like Sukuna was obviously just toying with him at the same time. This level of humanity started to form within him, and we saw that happen in the afterlife. He was loyal to a fault to his fellow curses, so much so to the point that it brought out tears. Other than Choso, this is really the first time that we're seeing like full-fledged emotion out of a curse. And so I think that opens up the door to a lot of things for many other curses that might pop up in the show. However, unfortunately, I'm still gonna have to give him a good effort. Oh, it feels bad to even say that. Oh, gosh. I don't believe that Jogo really gave us enough to be like, he did what needed to be done. So for those reasons, the first curse is gonna be on good effort. Next up, Mahito. Oh, Mahito, my least favorite character. Even just saying his name like kind of makes my skin crawl, y'all. Like seriously, I'm just like, ugh. Mahito overall grew a lot. His scaling, I still don't understand. I don't truly have enough grasp on it. How fast Mahito grows fight after fight after fight after fight. We don't see any training happen from Mahito. It's literally just his own real self-awareness. He does fully understand this idea of soul. Mahito does say something that's really impactful, which is really, in my opinion, the whole message overall of Jujutsu Kaisen is what really is right and what is wrong. And really, the curses have kind of always been talking about it. Like, why do we need to get taken out? We deserve just as much respect, and really, we need to replace humans more than anyone else. And so Mahito definitely showed up, showed at. I hate that, but it's the reality of the situation. And that character is my least favorite by far. I'm so happy he got absorbed. Hopefully we never have to see him again, even though I hate that we still have to see his abilities. With that explanation being said, I am going to give Mahito a did what needed to be done. He was much stronger and much more, I think, significant overall than the characters below him in good effort. Obviously, so much so that Ghetto needed to absorb him, or fake Ghetto. Dagon had a great effort. I feel like Dagon's fight was just to kind of tee us up for the fight for Toji and Megumi. I really thought he was going to be like such a significant player in all of this. He was fun to watch, but I think he is on the same level as Jogo in just good effort. You did what you had to do. Your cause was just in your mind, but you're definitely not on the level of some of these other people for this season specifically. This final curse really does not need an introduction. The man, the myth, the legend, the true curse, the king of curses, really the god of curses, Sukuna. So powerful, so strong, such mass destruction. The whole reason why there is this now gaping blackout hole in Shibuya and Tokyo is because of Sukuna. He's going to get my final too strong for their own good spot. And I think 5 is honestly a perfect number for season 2 because there were a ton of characters, but really there are only 5 of the strongest characters. And it's crazy that 2 of them happen to use Ghetto's ability, which is a testament to just how powerful he is. So overall, y'all, that is going to do it. I really think Jujutsu Kaisen really taps on and really touches on this whole idea of what makes right and what makes wrong. And really, it kind of depends on what side of the aisle you're on, whether you agree with the curses or you agree with the sorcerers. Do the sorcerers always do the right thing? Not necessarily. Like, why is Gojo being executed if somebody unseals him? It's almost as if they wanted to do that. It's almost as if the Jujutsu people are curses for them to even make that type of decision. But that's just a really random theory that's probably very untrue. So yeah, y'all, what did y'all think overall of season 2? Even though this is mostly a character breakout and character breakdown, I still wanted to overall analyze the show, and I think it was absolutely magnificent Overall, great messages, great themes, and quite frankly, a lot of lessons that you can pull from. So I'm very excited about season 3. So what did you think? Let me know in the comment section below. And listen, if you got this far in the video, shout out to you. You're a real one. Make sure you subscribe and maybe consider membership if you really want to get some behind the scenes and watch these videos early. So with all that out the way, I don't want to hold this up any longer, you guys. I'll see you guys next week for another exciting breakdown and analysis. So until then, bye.